What's up, everybody? This is Tech G back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you exactly what the Microsoft 365 Certified Fundamentals certification is, in case you plan on getting this in your professional life. So let's get into it. If you've ever heard someone mention the cloud and instantly felt like they were speaking a foreign language, well, don't worry, you're not alone. Cloud technology, this can sound overwhelming at first, but here's the good news. Microsoft offers a certification specifically designed to help beginners get their footing in the Microsoft Cloud ecosystem. And it's called the Microsoft 365 Certified Fundamentals, exam number MS-900. So whether you're just starting your IT career, transitioning into tech, or you want a better understanding of how Microsoft 365 works behind the scenes, then the MS-900 certification, this is a friendly, non-technical way to get started. So let me go ahead and explain all of this to you. Before we dive into the certification itself, let's clarify what Microsoft 365 is. Think of Microsoft 365 as more than just Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. It's an entire cloud-based productivity platform that includes Office apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, etc., Teams for communication and collaboration, SharePoint for file storage and intranet portals, OneDrive for cloud file storage, Microsoft Entra ID, which used to be called Azure Active Directory, and that's used for identity management. And then you have security and compliance tools for managing data and users. So Microsoft 365 isn't just a set of applications. This is an entire ecosystem that helps organizations work smarter and more securely. All right, so let me go ahead and explain the Microsoft 365 certification. So the Microsoft 365 Certified Fundamental Certification, this proves that you understand the basics of Microsoft 365 services. And this includes knowledge in cloud computing principles, the value and benefits of Microsoft 365, its core services like Exchange, Teams, SharePoint, security, compliance, privacy, and trust, and Microsoft 365 pricing and support options. Now, this exam is not a technical certification in the sense that you won't be asked to configure servers and deploy applications, but you will need to understand how everything fits together, which is why this certification is so popular amongst people who are IT beginners, sales and marketing professionals, project managers, business decision makers, support specialists, and basically anyone preparing for more advanced Microsoft certifications. All right, next, let's talk about some of the topics that are covered on the exam. So this is a high-level view of the exam objectives. So 15 to 20% of the exam is going to be about cloud concepts, where you're going to have to learn exactly what is the cloud computing models like public, private, and hybrid models, cloud service types like SaaS, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service, and the benefits of cloud computing when it comes to scalability, availability, security, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Then you have about 30 to 35% of the exam is going to focus on Microsoft 365 applications and services, where you're going to have to know about core services like Microsoft Teams, Exchange, OneDrive, and SharePoint. You're going to have to know about Microsoft Viva and its productivity tools. You're going to have to know about collaboration and communication capabilities. You have another 30 to 35%, and this is going to focus on Microsoft 365 security, compliance, and privacy and trust. And basically, you're going to have to know about Microsoft's approach to data protection, its zero trust security model, identity and access management, and compliance offerings. And then there's another 25 to 30%, and it's going to focus on Microsoft 365 pricing and support, where you're going to have to know about licensing options like the difference between business and enterprise plans, subscription-based models, service level agreements, and support options, depending upon if you have basic, premier, or unified. All right, so now that we know what the exam covers, why should you take it? Well, if you decide to take this test, you're going to gain a solid foundation because you're going to understand what Microsoft 365 is, how it works, and why businesses use it. And this is powerful knowledge whether you're in IT, sales, education, or business. This can also help boost your resume. So the Microsoft 365 certification is a globally recognized certification that you can proudly add to your LinkedIn profile and resume because it shows employers that you're serious about understanding cloud technology. And it can also help you stand out out in job interviews. So let's say you're applying for a help desk or IT support role. Well, interviewers, they will love seeing Microsoft 365 on your resume because it shows that you understand Microsoft tools, cloud concepts, and collaboration platforms. Another benefit is this is a step towards advanced certifications. So if your goal is to become a Microsoft 365 administrator, a Teams administrator, a security analyst, or a solution architect, then this is a great starting point. And then this certification is affordable and beginner friendly. So the exam is relatively inexpensive. It costs about $99 and it does not require any prior experience or other certifications. All right, so let's talk about some of the jobs that you might qualify for if you were to get this certification. But let me go ahead and be clear. This certification alone is not going to get you a six-figure tech job, but it can open up doors and give you a competitive edge for entry-level or transition roles. And so here are some of those roles where this certification can give you a leg up. So you have the IT support specialist or the help desk technician. These roles, they often require basic knowledge of Microsoft 365, especially when it comes to helping users with Teams, Outlook, or SharePoint issues. And once you earn this certification, it basically states that you understand the Microsoft ecosystem. And the average salary is about $45,000 to $60,000 a year. Another position is Office 365 administrator on the junior level. So a junior admin might handle user accounts, manage team channels, or assist with OneDrive issues. And this certification helps you understand the structure and responsibilities before diving into technical setups. And the average salary for this position is about $55,000 to $75,000 a year. You also have the Microsoft 365 sales or customer success representative. So sales reps working with cloud products, they need to understand what they're selling. And this certification helps you talk confidently about features, benefits, pricing, and deployment models. And the average salary for these people is about $50,000 to $75,000 a year plus commissions. Another job that you could qualify for is that of a trainer or education technology specialist. So if you're in education or training, this certification can help you support teachers or staff that are using Microsoft tools like Teams, OneDrive, and Word. And it's especially useful in the K-12 and higher education settings. And the average salary for these people is about $40,000 to $60,000 a year. Then you have a technical project coordinator or a business analyst. And these roles require you to bridge the gap between IT and business. So knowing how Microsoft 365 supports productivity and collaboration is essential. And this certification shows that you get the big picture. And the average salary for these people is about $55,000 to $75,000 a year. And then we have entry-level cloud administrators. This is assuming you get other certifications. So if you're working towards roles like Microsoft 365 administrator, security administrator, or Teams admin, then this certification is the perfect first step. And some follow-up certifications that you might get are the endpoint administrator or the MD 102. You got the Teams admin, the MS 700, or the SC 900, which is the security compliance and identity fundamentals certifications. All right, next, let's talk about how do you prepare for this Microsoft 365 certification. Well, here's the good news. There are tons of free and affordable resources to help you pass. So you could always go to Microsoft's Learn website, which is free. And this is the official Microsoft platform, and it has this course up there for free. And this includes modules, quizzes, and interactive content. And this is great for self-paced learners. You have online courses like my course on YouTube. So if you hit the playlist button, you'll see my course, Microsoft 365 Fundamentals course up there with thousands of people that watched that video, and a whole bunch of them got certified. You can also go check out other sites like LinkedIn Learning and Udemy and Pluralsight for other affordable prep courses. You got a ton of practice tests that are floating around out there on sites like MeasureUp, Wiz Labs, and Exam Topics, where they simulate real questions to help you get comfortable with the format. And then there's a bunch of study groups and forums you can find on Reddit, on Discord servers, where you can get in there, ask questions, share resources, and stay accountable. Now, how long does it take you to prepare? Well, this depends upon your background, but most people can prepare in about 2 to 4 weeks if they study 1 to 2 hours a day. And since there are no prerequisites, this is very accessible, even if you're brand new to cloud technology. Now, with all of that being said, is this exam hard? Well, it's not a walk in the park if you don't study. but it is one of the most beginner-friendly certifications that Microsoft has to offer. So just expect a bunch of multiple choice questions, some drag and drop questions, and scenario-based questions. And you're going to need to understand concepts and not just memorize acronyms. But if you've used Microsoft 365 applications like Teams or Outlook before, and you study the cloud and pricing concepts, then you should probably have no issues passing this certification. Exactly what happens after you pass the exam? Well, you get your shiny digital badge in addition to your certification, but you're going to get your digital badge that you can showcase on LinkedIn, your resume, put it on your email signature or some digital portfolio. And then once you get that, you'll be able to speak confidently in job interviews or team meetings when someone brings up cloud-based productivity tools. More importantly, this builds momentum for your IT or tech career. And the next question people like to ask is this certification worth it? Yes, it is, but only if you treat it as a stepping stone. So think of the Microsoft 365 Certified Fundamental Certification as the Cloud 101 class. It will not make you a cloud engineer overnight, but it will give you the clarity and confidence to take your next step. So it is especially worth it if you want to work in IT support or Microsoft 365 administration, if you're transitioning from another field into tech, or if you need to understand how Microsoft 365 works in your current job, or you plan to earn more Microsoft certifications. So yes, it is worth it. All right, so with all that being said, let me go ahead and wrap this up. The tech world, this can feel overwhelming, but certifications like Microsoft 365 Certified Fundamentals are here to help you take the first step. It's beginner friendly, it's respected, and it gives you a solid foundation that can lead to job opportunities, promotions, and more advanced certifications. So if you're even slightly curious about Microsoft 365, cloud computing, or the modern workplace, then this certification is a great place to start.